Good morning, Jesus Center. We're praying this vitamin boost brings timely encouragement into your life today and enlightens and empowers you to be the amazing person God made you to be. We love you.
I've wondered why there were times in my life when people would hurt me or they would say hurtful things to me, and I would take it so personally. I would get really discouraged. I would get really angry. There were times I even just, kind of buried my head in a pillow for days after an encounter I had with an individual. And then there are other times where I can be faced with something that was very hurtful, but still be unaffected and remain joyful. So I've wondered, when I look back at my life, why there are times I was so sensitive and took criticism so personally, while at other times it was just like water coming off a duck's back. Now, I've wondered why I've gone through some stressful situations, and then those situations caused me to be very fearful, to rot and to stink, while at other times I went through a stressful time and I was like an eagle flying above the storm. I've wondered why I can engage in counseling appointments and take on the burdens of others and then feel totally slimed by another person's issues, where now their issues are affecting me. And then at other times, I've been able to counsel people and minister to people, and even though I felt great love and empathy, I didn't come out defiled. I wondered why sometimes I feel like I'm a vacuum. Like I'm just sucking up all the fiery darts of the enemy, like, oh, let me suck this and suck that in. And I think people who are prophetically wired, you're sensitive to the spiritual world. And so I'm just like sucking up everything, and burning up with all these fiery darts. Other times, I feel like they're all being effortlessly extinguished. Why can I have two completely different reactions and responses? And I think the answer is very simple to that question of why. Is the river within flowing, or is it not? Is the river flowing, or is it not? When the river is not flowing, that's called quenching the spirit that Paul the Apostle talked about. And when the river is not flowing, you become a vulnerable vacuum. But when the river is flowing, you're this overflowing spring. So people can dump all their trash on you. But it's just a matter of seconds, maybe minutes. It's out of sight. It's out of mind. And you're still a pure stream. So do you want to be cleansed from the filth of this world? And we live in a filthy world. You'll be dumped on whether you like it or not. Just the fact that you live on this planet. Well, we have to learn to let the river flow. So how do we release that river? Let's go back to John chapter 7, verse 37. How do we release the rivers within? John chapter 7, verse 37. On the last day of the feast, the great day, Jesus, he stood up and he cried out, "If anyone thirsts, let him come to me and drink." And then the result of coming to Jesus and drinking would be these rivers of living water would flow out of your belly. If anyone thirsts, let him come to me and drink. I believe the first step that will help us to release the rivers of living water is interpret everything negative as thirst. So you sinned really badly this last week. Interpret it as thirst. You're thirsty, okay? You're in a really bad mood right now. You're just thirsty. You're feeling really lonely. You're thirsty too. You're just ticked off. You're edgy. You're short with people. You're thirsty. You're really bored. You're thirsty. You're apathetic and lazy, unmotivated. You're thirsty too. You're covetous. You're jealous. You can't be happy for the breakthroughs of others. You're thirsty too. You're stressful. You're fearful. Hey, you're thirsty. You're overwhelmed by all your responsibilities. You're thirsty too. You're really brokenhearted right now. Okay, you're thirsty. Anybody realizing that you're more thirstier than you realize? Interpret everything as spiritual thirst. Interpret everything we just listed as symptoms of spiritual dehydration. Because the truth is, if those rivers were flowing as they could and as they should, you'll be refreshed. You'll be healed.
Thanks for listening to today's Vitamin Boost. Have a love-filled day, and we hope to connect here again tomorrow.